I got a big surprise for you. Check your email, man. I swear to God, if this is something weird. Alright, busy work beats, Kyle beats, busy work beats again, Kyle beats again, and again. Check the spam folder. Ah, of course. Vocalign? And feet pics? Yeah. Why are you dressed up as a green M&M in this one? What's going on today, guys? Weaver Beats here, and today we'll be reviewing Vocalign Ultra. It's a new version of a plugin from synchroarts. Vocalign allows you to instantly match the timing and pitch of multiple vocal or instrument takes. This works for vocals, instruments, or anything audio related. It's very handy for lots of vocal layers in a pop production or any sort of modern production, really. It features tightness control, pitch control, formant shift, as well as some other features. In layman's terms, this plugin is really good for stacking tons of vocal takes into one giant vocal. This plugin uses iLock, that's why it's impossible to pirate. Before this version, you could only align the timing but not the pitch, so they added a few cool new features. ARA2 support is included, meaning that you don't need to sidechain capture the vocals for ARA2 supported DAWs. Ableton 11 is not ARA2 supported DAW, so I did not get the benefit from this, sadly. Alright, time to review it. The UI looks like shit. Just a little bit clunky looking, a little cheap looking, I guess. So in order for this to work, you're gonna have to capture sidechain audio from the vocal take you want to copy. Thankfully, you can do a bunch of these at once though, so you can just capture like all 6 vocal layers that you need to at once, if your computer is good enough. Vocalign is actually one of the only people that make this sort of plugin, so they sort of have a monopoly on it, so to speak. I assume this is not an easy plugin to make. The plugin would have to be able to analyze audio, notice where the warp points are, how long each area is within the warp points, and be able to warp it to match it identically. So essentially that's what this software does, and it also allows you to do it with the pitch as well. You could do this sort of thing manually, but if you have 8 vocal layers and you're trying to make them all sound like one, well, you're gonna be spending like 6 hours trying to do this manually, so.
What the fuck?
That's why this plugin exists. So you don't have to do this manually and spend 6 hours literally just manually warping words to sound like one word. In terms of function, I think the software does its job really well. It lines up the vocals nearly identically within a millisecond within every try. My biggest complaint overall has been with the price and a little bit of a complaint about the UI. The UI just looks a little bit cheap for the year 2021. Like, there has to be a better design to this sort of thing, but what do I know? Don't you know, blue's not hip anymore, man. Blue's not cool in the year 2021 anymore. I found it to be a little bit laggy in my old computer, but at the time of recording, I actually have a new computer that I just got installed, and it seems to be working quite a bit better. I'm not gonna lie, the fact that Ableton 11 doesn't have ARA2 support makes me consider mixing in another DAW, mostly because I just want to be able to use this plugin quickly, but yeah. Alright, overall, I think it's actually a pretty good plugin, but I do think it should cost less. $400 for this is kind of insane in my opinion, but it's also a really good plugin, and I think most professional studios really need this if they want to be able to mix their clients' music professionally and quickly, especially if they're dealing with vocals. This is mostly good for vocals. Let's look at it this way. I paid for a SonarWorks reference with a calibration mic made by them for $300, and they sent me that to my house. I got the software and I got a piece of hardware for $300 total. This one was $400 and it was just software, and I had some issues with it. I had some issues installing it. Now granted, it does a really good job at what it's supposed to do, which is aligning vocals and matching pitch, but it's just really hard to justify that $400 price tag. But the fact that there are no other comparable alternatives is the only real reason they're able to charge this much and get away with it. Let's take a look at what those alternatives are real quick before I give you guys my score. So you could do a script with Reaper that basically does a similar thing, but it's not completely accurate. I've tried that in the past. You can also manually warp your vocals. Now that's a good joke. You guys tell me I need to tell more jokes. That was a good one right there. Apparently Cubase does the same thing, except it's just a default thing that's a part of the DAW. Now for a pro license of Cubase, that's $587. A little bit more than Vocalign, but with Cubase you're getting a lot more. You're getting a fully fledged DAW that also does what Vocalign does. I mean, it may not by default match the pitch and whatnot, but you should have plugins that do that as well. This sort of thing makes it hard to justify this price tag on Vocalign as well. You shouldn't have a DAW that only costs like 30% more but does like 90% more than what you're offering, right? I mean, I didn't make this plugin, but if I had made it And if I had known what was out there and what people are charging, I'd probably charge closer to 200 if this was my plugin. Even 300 would make more sense, but 400 just seems like a little bit nuts. I'm gonna have to change the score a little bit based on that alone, I feel like. If you guys know more alternatives to Vocalign, let me know down in the comments, free or otherwise.
Sometimes I've got bad intentions, but it's you, babe, that I'm missing. Minutes turn to hours, hours turn to days. Sometimes I've got bad intentions, but it's you, babe, that I'm missing.
Alright, so there's a trial for this down in the description if you guys want. It's $400 for a new license, $100 for an upgrade license. I give Vocalign Ultra a 7 out of 10. Would have been an 8 or 9 out of 10, but the price is kind of high. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to comment, like, subscribe. Comment to me your favorite plugin. What plugin should I review next? Thinking about doing Output Arcade possibly really soon, but it looks like it's going to be kind of complicated to review, so it might take me a little while. Oh, we're having a beat battle with the actual prize on my Discord server. Make sure to check that out. So I think some of the prizes include halftime, the levels, the plugin. I don't know, there's some other plugins too. Basically, you just gotta remix my song, and it's due on 4/20. Well, 4/19 at midnight, when it turns 4/20. It's actually just a coincidence. I just picked 2 weeks ahead of time. It's not about weed, man. It's not about the weed. Okay. Make sure to join Patreon if you haven't. Joining the Patreon is a great way to support the channel. More money in the Patreon equals more money I could pay video editors with, which means more uploads faster. So consider joining the Patreon. You also get other perks such as like vocal samples and random things, random tutorials when I have time or the idea for it. Tune in next time.
Vocalign Incorporated.